Hello everyone and welcome to episode 23 of WesteroSCraft Walks with your host DutchGuard. Today we're going to be taking a look at a very small island out in the Sunset Sea known as Lonelylight. Today we have here my co-mod for WesteroSCraft, Thamus Noward, and he is the builder and leader of Lonelylight, and he's going to be taking us through today. Say hello.
Hello guys.
Hey you there, and we're going to be walking around Lonelylight, but where have we started off then?
We've started off in the captain's cabin of, I have forgotten the name of the boat.
I think I saw on the outside it was,
Hope.
that's the one, that's the one.
Forlorn Hope, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to make our way through the belly of it, up to the top. Where's the top? Somewhere is the ladder. Up here.
Ah. Alright, here we go. Up onto the deck. Oh, amazing. Alright, so we are here on the Forlorn Hope in the Sunset Sea, which you can see stretching out all around us. And up there must be the island of Lonelylight.
Exactly.
Yeah, so how do we get there? Should we get a boat?
I just put one down and drowned.
Oh god, okay, hang on, get back up. Yeah, I'll need one of those boats. Ah, wait, don't kill my boat. Oh my god. What's happening? Okay, good. I'm on my boat.
You good? Okay.
We're good. Okay, let's sail. Well, you lead the way, actually. I don't know where we're supposed to... We're just
gonna land to the right there.
Okay, amazing. Alright, so, Thamus, you want to talk about a little bit about where Lonelylight is and sort of what its purpose is and why people live here?
I can try. Lonelylight is north of, I believe it's Great Wick. It's about 7 to 9 days north.
Okay.
And it's the seat of House Farwind, and it's actually just one branch of House Farwind. They're sort of split up and scattered all across the Iron Islands. And the people that live here are the sort of the weirdest version of them. They are believed to be able to transform into animals and and sort of hunt in the seas as well. So they kind of live here because I guess they're not very welcome on the Iron Islands. Like the entire idea of changing into an animal is sort of more of a northern thing, really.
Right, so they're skin changers. That's the official term for it, isn't it? Yeah, I
think so.
So they're sort of outcasts living out here on this island in the middle of nowhere because they're sort of stuck to their ways or whatever they're doing, is changing into animals and hunting. And they just sort of formed an outpost. So are they officially part of the Iron Islands? Like, are they in the Seven Kingdoms then?
Definitely, yeah. They take part in the politics of the Iron Islands. So they would go to the moots that you've mentioned in your previous videos.
Yeah, the King's moots. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. So they are involved. They are here out on their own, but they do have. Well, we did just come from with their longships, so they do have a military presence as well. I guess it must be sort of just an outpost as well for people who are traveling out into the Sunset Sea. Presumably, who is it? Euron Crowseye probably came here once or twice through his travels.
He might have restocked here for a venture out even further.
All right.
So.
Okay, so lead the way.
Okay, let's go up into the little village that sort of precedes the actual lighthouse of Lonelylight. And I tried to base this village heavily around their sort of prime food source, which is hunting whales, I thought, or in general fishing or living of the ocean. But the largest animal they can find in the seas are whales. So I based this entire little community around working any part of the whale. And to our right here, you can see a cooking station for train oil, where they cook the blubber of the whale, which is the fatty layer of the whale, and remove the what's it called, the flammable whale oil from it, or the train oil.
Yeah, and that's to use in lanterns and things like that.
Exactly. That's one source of fuel for the great light of Lonelylight.
All right. So is that a Oh, so this thing up here is a lighthouse all the way up here, as well as a tower sort of keep as well.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Can we take a look inside one of these houses just to get a feel for?
Sure. Pick anyone.
Okay. How about this one? This one looks like pretty decent size. Actually, much smaller than I thought, but okay. But that's probably typical, isn't it? Because they're probably not the wealthiest people in the world, living out, so isolated from everyone else.
They hardly have anything really.
Okay, but so so when you planned Lonelylight and you sort of developed the style for it, you've obviously stuck with some of the Iron Island styles because you can see the sod roofs that we saw in some of our other videos. But is there anything different that you did here to sort of set it apart?
I try to include on the inside. I try to include wood that is sort of driftwood that had washed ashore.
Okay.
Not so much in that house for some reason, but in this house you can see that the cross beam is actually driftwood.
I see. Here. Yeah, very
this
cool.
Is driftwood.
So it's sort of all just cobbled together from bits and pieces.
Exactly, or pieces of old ships, like for example the black wood here. Those are supposed to be planks that are have been swept on from broken hulls of other ships and stuff like that.
Okay.
But mostly they're following the classic Iron Island style.
Very cool. And can you talk us through a little bit about the terraforming of this island? Just stepping away from the build itself, but the actual island. I think you built it from scratch.
Not exactly. Most of it was here, and I was very grateful for that. Actually, I think our map maker Carcinogenius, he did this pretty well. Like most of it was there. I had to only add the beach, and I added some secret caves that are across the island for worshipping to the drowned gods. So there are a few caves for that. And apart from that, I didn't really have to change a whole lot. I mean, I smoothed out the landscape so that the houses fit and the path fits, but the actual island was here.
Okay. Very cool. So you had a lot to work with from the start.
Yep.
You didn't need to change too much.
That's pretty good.
All right. So let's continue up this slope here towards the lighthouse there.
Do we want to, or do we want to have a look at how these people actually live?
We can do that as well. Yeah, for sure.
Let's go to the right then, down here, and just sort of go across country, climb down this cliff here, and then you can already see it.
All right, what is that then?
That's one of the whales, small one.
I see. Okay.
But it's one they've just hunted and dragged ashore, and now they're cutting it up to fill their bellies.
Yeah, to eat and to make that oil that we were talking about before.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay, yeah, you can see all kinds of tools sticking out of it and some stains of blood on the sand. I guess was this the ship that they hunted it in?
Yeah, they I think the Inuits as well, like in the real world, they hunt in small canoes or kayaks, and they're more maneuverable than a big ship.
Yeah, good for hunting.
So, yeah, and also, I mean, if they really are skin changers, they could just they would have like a fleet of these boats and maybe a few guys in the water even.
Yeah, I guess if they had fins, they could just swim around and attack. Right. Yep. Okay, so that's where they get their primary source of food as well as goods, I guess, to trade for I guess maybe they do a bit of trading. But there's no agriculture really. There's no greenery at all. So do you think they would have to get things like that from other sources, or how would they cope with not having like the basics like wheat and things like that?
That's a good question, actually. I think any human being not having access to sources of vitamin C or some other various like important trace elements, they would. I mean, that's not the best diet, obviously, but fish isn't all that bad, so they could live they could live pretty well on fish. They would just need to go to the mainland for, well, other things, I suppose. But
fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in general, that's a question that I've always wondered, always had about the Iron Islands, is how do they, if they do not sow, where do they take their, what do they live off?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good question for George R. R. Martin, if you ever watch this video, we'd like to know how how do the Iron Islands actually live if they don't practice any kind of agriculture? Right, so we're here at this is a lighthouse you described it as, but is it also the sort of the fortress of the Far Winds?
Yeah, it's also the main keep of this island. Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. It's semi-defensible. I mean, if the only entrance really is this main door.
I see.
So if you lock this off, there's no other entrance into it except for a side door that is usually locked. So this isn't accessible here.
Okay, I see. All right, so, this iron door here, or with the retextured iron door.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's always closed. You
Oh,
can't go through it.
That's a cracker. We don't want to go in there. Okay. All right. Well, let's go inside and let's take a look.
As well, like the houses, this one is very simple and very spartanic. Cold stone floor. Very, very simple interiors.
Okay.
I think the kitchen is through here.
Are these the colors of House Farwind? This was orange, red, and black.
Yep.
Okay.
The sigil is, I think, a longship in black on red and orange.
Okay.
But don't nail me down. Don't pin me down on that.
Okay.
Haven't seen the sigil in a long time.
All right. Fair. How long did it take you to build Lonelylight?
I would say it was about a month, maybe.
Okay.
On and off. I mean, the lighthouse was pretty much done in a day. But the exterior and then the interior took me a bit longer because I had to think of where stuff goes, and I actually tried to put the chimneys actually go all the way through. It doesn't just end there; it goes all the way through the top. So there's an actual chimney leading through the entire building. So I had to plan the rooms around it and work that out.
All right. Shall we head upstairs?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. All right. So this is pretty cramped in here, isn't it? So you've got this looks like a little armory in here, and there's another sort of sitting area, maybe for some soldiers or garrison.
Yeah. Pretty much the family and the closest acquaintances, no, not acquaintances, servants maybe, live here and share the tower. So it's, what's his name, Lord Gilbert, or is it Lord Giles?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. There's too many names.
I think it's Gilbert and his son is Giles. He has 3 sons, so 2 of them actually share the cottages right in front of the tower, and he lives here with his sold wives, his servants, and his youngest son.
Okay. I see. All right, very cool. So they couldn't all fit in this one tower. You sort of had to spread them out.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, next floor. And we're here in...
private chambers of the Lord.
Lord's chambers, yeah. You can always tell because there's a nice big wide double bed. Regardless of what the materials are around the bed, if it's a double bed, usually ends up being someone pretty important. Right, so you've got sort of a nice little hearth in here as well. This is also a chimney that goes all the way through the building.
Yeah, I think it's connected. It's not very realistic, but this is the same one as the one below, I think.
Okay. All right, so it's all sort of connected, so it all goes to the same place.
Yeah.
All right. And
this one just has a brazier.
Okay. Cool. Moving on.
Yeah.
What's up here? Oh, is this what is this? Is this a rookery in here?
It's a tiny rookery, yeah.
Ah, tiny rookery. Wow, well, even the Farwinds of Lonelylight have a rookery. Although I guess it's more important for them because they're so isolated, they'll need to get word out somehow, quickly to people if they need help or if they spot something.
Yep.
Oh,
this is the winch that carries up the jars of train oil up to the light.
Oh, I see.
On top.
Can we get to the light up there?
Yeah, sure. It's through here.
Okay. All right. Missed that staircase. Oh, here we go. All right, very cool. So it's like encased in this glass box, and it's powered by whale oil, right?
Yep.
Very cool.
Whale oil and occasionally driftwood as well.
All right, in case they're low. Okay, very cool.
That's it, pretty much.
Amazing. So even, for a small build like this, still has loads and loads of detail, and it's very obvious that you've put a lot of thought into everything, despite it being, canonically very sparse in terms of the details mentioned about the Four Winds. You've still managed to put a lot of really interesting stuff in this build. So thank you very much, and thanks for showing us around.
No, thanks for having the tour with me.
Yeah. No problem. It was a pleasure. So that ends our episode on Lonelylight, and I hope to see you for our next episode coming out very shortly.